Have you ever stopped to think about what's right under our feet? I mean, like way, way under.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? The idea of these hidden worlds, whole landscapes that most of us never even get a glimpse of.
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into one of those hidden worlds, caves.
Caves. Always a good topic. Perfect for a little subterranean exploration.
Right. So we're going to be looking at this article called 10 Most Incredible Caves in the World. It's from 2013, so it's a little older, but still super interesting.
Yeah, the article focuses mainly on these formations you find in caves. Stalactites and stalagmites and all that.
Oh yeah, stalactites. Those are the ones that hang down from the ceiling, right?
Yeah,
Like icicles, but made of rock.
that's right. They kind of look like they're holding on tight to the ceiling. And the stalagmites, they grow up from the floor.
Oh, I see. So over time, they could actually meet in the middle.
Exactly. They're formed by like water dripping over thousands, even millions of years. And all those minerals in the water, they slowly build up these incredible formations.
Wow, that's amazing. And this list has 10 of the most incredible caves in the world.
Yeah, the ones that really stand out for their unique features. So, should we jump right in?
Let's do it. Where are we starting?
Okay, so first up, we have the Cave of Crystals. It's in Mexico.
Cave of Crystals. That sounds pretty magical already.
Oh, it is. It was actually discovered pretty recently, back in 2000, by some miners in this place called the Naica mine. It's in the state of Chihuahua, about 300 meters below the surface.
Wow, so almost 1,000 feet underground. That's deep.
Yeah, pretty deep. But what's really incredible about this cave is that it's full of these massive crystals, some of the biggest natural crystals ever found,
Well,
actually.
how massive are we talking? Like bigger than a person.
Oh, way bigger. The biggest one they found was 12 meters long. Imagine a crystal almost as long as a school bus.
I can't even picture that. And 4 meters in diameter? That's like wider than a car.
It is. And get this, it weighed 55 tons. 55 tons. It's just mind-boggling.
That's just unbelievable. But hold on, if it's that deep underground, isn't it really hot down there?
Yeah, it's pretty intense. The temperature in the cave is around 58 degrees Celsius. That's 136 Fahrenheit.
Ouch. And the humidity is super high, right? Like
Log.
almost 100%.
You got it. So going in there is really dangerous. Even with special suits and breathing gear, you can only stay down there for a few minutes at a time.
So not exactly a casual tourist spot then?
No, not really. And here's another thing that's interesting. Unlike a lot of other caves, the Cave of Crystals doesn't actually have that many stalactites and stalagmites.
Really? So why is it on this list of incredible caves then?
Because those giant crystals are just so unique and spectacular. It's like a completely different kind of underground beauty.
Okay, that makes sense. So from scorching heat to something a little more magical, our next cave is the Waitomo Glowworm Caves in New Zealand.
The Waitomo Caves, yes. These are incredible. They're on the North Island and they're famous for, well, glowworms.
Glowworms, like worms that actually glow in the dark.
Exactly. These little creatures are called Arachnocumpa luminosa, and they're only found in New Zealand.
Oh, wow. So they're pretty special, but how do they even glow?
So the glowworms, they're actually the larval stage of a type of fungus gnat. And to attract prey, they spin these sticky threads and hang them down from the ceiling.
Like tiny little fishing line.
Pretty much. And the glowworms, they emit this bioluminescent light to lure insects into their traps. It's like a built-in nightlight.
And when you're in the cave, it's totally dark except for the glowworms.
Yeah, imagine being in this pitch black cave, and then suddenly, thousands of these tiny lights start twinkling all around you. It looks just like a starry night sky.
That sounds absolutely breathtaking. Okay, now we're going from New Zealand to Slovakia, which has not one but two caves on this list. The first one is Vajeka Cave.
Vajeka Cave, yeah, it's near this village called Vajek in northern Slovakia up in the mountains. It was discovered back in 1922, and it's not the biggest cave on the list.
So what makes it so special then?
Well, it's known for having a ton of stalactites, like it's just covered in them, really densely packed in all different shapes and sizes.
So it's all about those intricate formations.
Yeah, and there's also some really interesting cave fauna. Animals that have adapted to living in this dark underground environment.
Oh, cool. So Slovakia's second entry on the list is Bystrianska Cave. Is that one similar to Vajeka?
Kind of. Bystrianska Cave is near a town called Bystra. It's bigger than Vajeka, but still, only a small part of it is open to the public.
I guess with caves, there's always so much more that we don't see.
Definitely. There could be whole networks of tunnels and chambers that no one has ever explored. Makes you wonder what else is out there.
For sure. Now, for a really massive cave system, we're going to the U.S., to Mammoth Cave in Kentucky.
Mammoth Cave. Now we're talking. This one's a real giant.
How big is it?
Well, it's actually the longest known cave system in the whole world. They've mapped over 390 miles of passageways, and they're still finding more.
390 miles. You could get seriously lost in there.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's super stable, too. Like, it's been around for millions of years, and it's not going anywhere.
That's good to know. So what does that mean for the cave itself? Why is stability important?
Well, it means that the formations have been able to develop over a really long time without being disturbed. And the cave ecosystem, the animals that live in there, they've had a stable environment to evolve in.
Right. It's like a little time capsule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, let's stay in the U.S., but head southwest to New Mexico to Carlsbad Cavern.
Carlsbad Cavern. I remember learning about this one in school. It's the one with that massive chamber, right?
You got it. It's called the Big Room, and it's absolutely huge. Like, you can fit several football fields in there.
Wow, I remember seeing pictures, but it's hard to grasp the scale of it.
It's mind-blowing, and it's not just empty space either. The Big Room is full of all kinds of incredible formations.
Like stalactites and stalagmites and all that.
Oh, yeah, tons of them, and they're all different shapes and sizes. It's like walking into a giant underground sculpture garden.
Amazing. Now, for something completely different, let's go to China, to the Reed Flute Cave. This one's supposed to be super old, right?
Yeah, Reed Flute Cave is in Guilin, and it's over 180 million years old.
Wow, 180 million years. That's older than the dinosaurs.
It is, and people have been visiting it for over 1,200 years. They even found inscriptions inside from the Tang Dynasty way back in the 8th century.
So it's like a window into history.
Okay.
And what about the cave itself? What's it like inside?
Well, it's full of stalactites and stalagmites, of course, and they've got all these cool names based on their shapes. Like, there's one called the Crystal Palace and another one called the Dragon Pagoda.
I like how people get creative with the names. All right, next we're headed to Lebanon to check out Jeda Grotto.
Jeda Grotto is really cool because it's actually 2 caves in one.
2 caves. How does that work?
They're interconnected, like they're part of the same system. But the lower cave has an underground river flowing through it.
Oh, so you have to explore that part by boat.
Exactly. Imagine gliding along in a boat surrounded by darkness and these incredible rock formations.
Sounds like an adventure. And what about the upper cave?
The upper cave is all about stalactites, stalagmites, and all those formations. You can walk through it and just marvel at the sheer beauty of it all.
Wow, a cave with a boat ride. Okay, now for a cave with a UNESCO World Heritage designation, we're off to Kukjin Caves in Slovenia.
Kukjin Caves. Yeah, this one's pretty special. It's in this area known for its karst topography.
Karst. Remind me what that is again?
Sure. Karst is this type of landscape that's formed when soluble rocks like limestone dissolve over time. It creates all these cool features like caves, sinkholes, and underground rivers.
Ah, right. And Kukjin Caves is a prime example of that.
Exactly. It's got this massive underground gorge carved out by a river,
What?
and you can actually cross the gorge on this really high bridge.
A bridge inside a cave.
Yep, it's like something out of a movie. And of course, there are beautiful stalactites and stalagmites all over the place.
Sounds amazing. All right, for our final cave, we're traveling to Vietnam to see Pho Na Cave.
Phong Na, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. This one's located in a national park, and it's huge. The surveyed length is over 7,000 meters.
Wow, over 7 kilometers. That's a long way.
Yeah.
And it's also open to tourists, right?
Yeah, a portion of it is. They say it's the second biggest cave in Vietnam, so you can imagine the scale of it.
It sounds like a fitting end to our underground journey.
Absolutely. We've gone from scorching heat to glowing worms to massive chambers and underground rivers.
And it's all just a reminder that there's so much more to this planet than what we see on the surface.
Exactly. And who knows what other wonders are still waiting to be discovered in the depths.
It really makes you think.
Hmm.
Well, that's it for our deep dive into the incredible caves of the world. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.